Hi there. Let's talk about this week's lesson. Optical illusions, otherwise known as op art.
Op art? What exactly is op art? Well, an optical illusion is something that tricks your eye, and I'm sure you've seen them before. But now we're going to try and actually make some. So the first optical illusion step we're going to use is just using our name. We've drawn our name in bubble letters and block letters many times before, but we're going to do it one more time. Draw your name in a bubble letter or a block letter using your pencil. Again, I am using a marker because it's easier for you to see it from the camera. And then I'm going to need a ruler or something else that will help me draw a straight line. I'm going to draw straight lines all across my name. They don't have to be perfectly even. They don't have to be specifically spaced. I don't have to measure. I'm just using my ruler to make a straight line. Some of them can be close together, some of them can be far apart, but you get the idea. What they should not do is they should not cross each other. So while we are only going in one direction for this step, if you do want to create some sort of a checkerboard effect, that can be part of our bonus lesson. So now comes the coloring, which is always my favorite part. I would like you to choose two colors, and one of those colors can be white. I am going to start coloring my lines. The first line I'm going to color as my solid color. I'm going to create an alternating pattern in the background of this project with my two colors. In my case, I'm going to use purple and white. If you want to use two colors, then go ahead. Alternate between these two colors. But for the sake of speed and timing here, I will just use white as my second color. So I've colored my first stripe in the color I chose. I'm going to leave my next stripe white, and now I'm going to go on to the next stripe. I'm going to create an alternating pattern. There's a trick, however, because when I come down this stripe, I notice that my name has crossed into my stripe. And what I need to do there is I need to change in that section and make that the second color. In other words, I'm going to color only my stripe, and anything that crosses over the line with my stripe is going to be the opposite color, or the reverse color. I'm going to leave that section white. If I have the next stripe white, then anything that crosses that becomes my purple. So only within each stripe do the colors switch and change. Let's watch the whole thing in time lapse. So here we have my optical illusion. Now, because I put my letters so close together initially, I do have a little bit of a problem here where I can't differentiate between the two without coloring it a different color outside of my pattern. So that's fine. And you don't necessarily have to follow a specific pattern. You can use every color in the book if you'd like. You just have to figure out how you want it to work as the coloring goes. Every time something crosses over one of your stripes, it changes color. What that color changes into is, of course, up to you. Alright, so now let's see a bonus version of this one. What if I want to kick it up a notch and make it a little bit more challenging? Well, do the exact same thing as before. I will write my name. This time I will not let my letters touch and see if that makes it easier for me. I will draw my lines across the project just like I did before, but this time let's do it a little differently. Let's get myself a checkerboard. So I'm going to draw lines in two different directions. Don't make it too complicated and add too many lines, because now it can get a little confusing when you start to color. The same rules apply. If the letter cuts across one of your shapes, it needs to change color. What that color changes into is completely up to you. Or possibly I could forget to turn on time lapse and color the whole thing so you can just see what happened anyhow. So what I decided to do was color my entire background in the colors that I chose with markers. And then I moved on to doing the same colors in some crayon. That way I get the same kind of color effect, but that little bit of an optical illusion that's happening at the same time. Alright, optical illusion step number 1, names and lines. Let's see what you can do with that.